Galaxy fans, lately we have heard of offensive chant in our stadium after goal kicks. This chant is offensive and unacceptable. We want everyone to feel welcome in an LA Galaxy Zoo match. Please support us by not participating in this goal kick chant. Thank you and go, go, go. And now, welcome to tonight's United Soccer League match between the visiting OKC Energy FC as they take on your LA Galaxy 2. The officials for tonight's match, referee Michael Bradshaw, Eduardo Jeff, and Togi Ventura. Tonight's fourth official is Omid Asapur. And now the starting lineups for tonight's teams. First, the visiting OKC Energy FC. In goal, number 1, Cody Lauren. On defense, number 6, Drew Beckle. On defense, number 15, Atiba Harris. On defense, number 13, Justin Chavez.
In the United Soccer League, the sun begins to set on the regular season, and it's crunch time here in the Western Conference. Tonight, live from the StubHub Track and Field Stadium in Carson, California, it's LA Galaxy 2 getting set to play host to OKC Energy tonight, right here on ESPN+. Hey everybody, great to have you along. I'm Christian Miles. 6 games remain in the regular season, and mission impossible for LA, currently 9 points adrift of the playoffs. Meanwhile, OKC in a little bit better shape, only 7 points off the pace of that 8th and final playoff spot, but they have played one more game. They are coming off back-to-back defeats. Attacker Alex Dixon, however, has been a bright spot. He's shown what a dangerous threat he can be, scoring a goal in Saturday's defeat away to Orange County SC. He's got 9 on the season and can play a variety of roles in attack and set up others. Meanwhile, the LA Galaxy starting to turn their corner, back-to-back wins. A big reason why this young man, the 16-year-old Efrain Alvarez, 9 goals in just 13 appearances, and his 9th, of course, coming over the weekend against his big brother's team in Las Vegas. His brother Carlos going down to a 2-1 defeat as the Galaxy came back from a goal down to take a big win. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll have a look at the starting lineups and the first half. It's LA and OKC, and it's next here on ESPN+.
Sensational! The Los Angeles Galaxy are rampant. Cutting back, how sweet it is! The Los Angeles Galaxy have their reward!
Going forward is a Frenchman. He's tired. Sedin is going to catch up to him. Dion! What a ball and what a finish!
Keane, flag is stayed down. Robbie Keane! Yes! The Los Angeles Galaxy are the first to 5, and Donovan goes out a champion.
Now this full moon tonight, not quite, just a crescent and very symbolic right now, a sliver of a chance for both of these two as they want to get into the USL playoffs here in 2018. It's 18th place, LA Galaxy 2 finding themselves, of course, 9 points adrift to that playoff spot. Meanwhile, OKC Energy come in, of course, in the 10th position and already 8 points above. Now you're going to look at referee Michael Ranchuk. Let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight, and we will begin with the away team here. OKC Energy, they're going to make a couple of changes from the team that lost to OCSC on Saturday. Cody Lorendi comes back into goal, and Atiba Harris, the longtime MLS veteran, will get a start in the center of defense. Drew Beckel in there, and up top it's going to be Adam John, the former Stanford man, with 3 goals in just 8 appearances. Keep your eye, of course, on the Spaniard. Jose Barril can provide a lot of creative inspiration in the center of the park alongside the Dane, number 7, Philip Rasmussen. On the other side of the coin here for LA Galaxy, 5 big changes from the team that came from behind in Vegas on Saturday. Eric Lopez comes back to take the gloves. Jean Ingola is recalled into a central defensive role, as is Nate Schultz. Emmanuel Apia, the Ghanaian, also comes back into the team to bolster the midfield alongside Jeffrey Achimpong. And of course, it's going to be Frank Lopez, the Cuban, will be leading the attack alongside the 16-year-old Efrain Alvarez. Lopez has been absolutely magnificent. Both of those two, between them, 18 goals this season for the Galaxy, who are looking for bigger and better things here tonight. The second meeting between these two, and it was back in June when LA came up a little bit short, in fact, losing out a 0-0. They'll want to reestablish their dominance here in the Western Conference as we are underway in Carson, LA, of course. We'll be kicking from left to right in the white strip, and OKC Energy looking for a win tonight, going from right to left. Happy to have you along. Big one here, a Western Conference 6-pointer. Realistically, it's pretty slim pickings right now. If both of these two teams want to make the playoffs, however, maximum points could restore their hopes. This one punted up, actually losing out on possession as it's short-lived and reclaimed in the center of the park here for the Galaxy. They'll look to build and establish possession, but this OKC Energy team very organized, coming out with that lone striker and Adam John with 5 in the midfield. We'll see if the Galaxy has the ingenuity and creative capability to break it down as this long one goes into the corner, trying to pick out Aguilar, who does well to control. Galaxy captain supported nicely by Didi Traore, one of 3 teenagers in the starting 11 tonight for Mike Munoz. Now see, looking to build here, and here's what Alvarez, his first touch, trying to serve it up. Have one set up there in the form of Andre Zonga. The Galaxy get it back. Apia lets it run. This is Nate Schultz who get the overlap here on this near side. Zonga's cross, and the first touch of the game for Lorendi, who comes back from international duty with Puerto Rico in the CONCACAF Nations League when he went up against his club teammate Atiba Harris in St. Kitts and the Nevis over the weekend. Both of those two accounting for the 2 changes for OKC. Not just suffering a defeat over the weekend, but previously to that, losing 1-0 away to Swope Park Rangers earlier this month. So trying to get back to winning ways. That came after 3 consecutive wins for the Oklahoma team. They're always a tough nut to crack. We'll see what lies in wait tonight. It's the 3rd meeting. OKC with 2 wins and 1 draw in the 3 prior occasions. This one touched in for Alvarez, who likes to drop in those deep rolls. They've got some width on this left-hand side, and here come the Galaxy. A great run on that left-hand side by Aguilar before it's finally upended. Concerted attacking pressure down. This one flicked over and easily intercepted at the back for OKC.
Help him, help him. Touch it away, in the way, Kyle. Touch. Touch, Shuttle. In the way.
The touch back in the center for Chavez.
Well done, Phil. Touch.
Galaxy do like to go with that 3 at the back. They can push Aguilar high. Schultz coming into a right back role. The fullbacks are going to be integral to their creative capability. He's trying to provide that extra bit of width and stretch out that defense. That's the modus operandi for Mike Munoz and company, who really don't have anything to lose at this point, as Kyle Hyland will spray one to that far side. Trying to link up with the run from John, but easily taken at the back by the French defender, Didi Traore. Now making his 10th appearance and 7th start of the campaign. A lot of youth out there and a very experienced OKC Energy team. Players that have had a lot of MLS time. Certainly has served them well as they find themselves in that 10th position, just 2 places and 7 points adrift of both St. Louis and Reno 1868 coming into tonight. Here's Lopez trying to send it long. Aguilar with the touch. Clever stuff now as he gets the support from Jeffrey Achimpaw. Will be that center of that Galaxy midfield, forming that partnership just alongside Apia, but nice ball up over the top for Frank Lopez, but easily read back there by Lorendi. Lopez aggressive and a little over aggressive as he gets the best of Callum Ross. It'll be a free kick here for Oklahoma City. Looking for their 4th win in their 14th game on their travels as John brings it down.
Four.
A free kick awarded now to OKC. We'll see what the Galaxy draw up here. In terms of defense, it's been caught wanting on more than one occasion. A little too physical, as Engola easily coming up over the back of the former Stanford striker. And this could put LA into a slight bit of peril. It certainly does set up nicely for a left footer. So what will OKC drop? What do they have up their sleeve? Something I'm sure they've worked on in training with head coach Steve Cook and their assistant Danny Stone. So they do conspire, and standing over that is Marco Bustos, the 22-year-old Canadian. As referee Mark Ratchuk lining up the line, it's Rasmussen, the number 7. The Dane does have a venomous right foot, lets it run over, and it's Bustos straight into the wall, which does its job to very good effect. Only a team that's conceded 53 times. Only 6 other clubs in USL have allowed more goals this season in Los Angeles, so that's one of the points of contention, is they want to shore it up. A team that has recorded just 3 shutouts, so play stoppage right now. And then training staff will come out and give some medical attention. A Galaxy defender back there, Didi Traore, who just waves it off, says he's okay, but Michael Ratchuk thinking otherwise right now, and he's going to have to come off temporarily, leaving LA down to 10 men. Remember, LA without the likes of Adonis Amaya, who's still sidelined with an anterior cruciate ligament injury, which has sidelined him for a while. So Traore down, LA throw early on here in the 7th minute. Still goalless in Carson in his second meeting between these two. Easily held by Eric Lopez, who gets the start today over Justin Baumstieg, who is fantastic over the weekend in Las Vegas, making a career-high 8 big saves in that 2-1 triumph. Back now for Callum Ross, has the support on the right-hand side. He'll drop it back for Atiba Harris, who's reverted to a more defensive role in the twilight of his career after featuring in a more attacking positions earlier on. That one will go up, and it's going to be against OKC, as you get a look at Michael Ratchuk, assisted tonight by Eduardo Jeff and Togayan Tarim. The 4th official is Omid Azabpour. Nate Schultz now making his 10th start of the campaign. One of those 5 changes tonight, Angola for Traore. He'll push it wide on the left-hand side. Here's Aguilar. Has some inroads, great movement here. Here's Aguilar, he lets it go, and it was a low worm burner, held well by Lorendi. Space opened up, and he took it. Didn't he do well? But credit the movement here that opened up the track and the path. Aguilar took it head down now, and no one closing him down, lets it rip. It's a good save and hold by Lorendi, the preferred number 1. Already a couple of clean sheets this year for the Puerto Rican. Chased down near side by Traore. This is Schultz. Higher pressure from OKC. Good first touch. Heavy on the end though from Achimpong. And it's claimed by Callum Ross, but possession a little short-lived here. Is the Galaxy having a better of it in the first 8.5 minutes. Galaxy 6 wins, 4 defeats in 4 draws here in Carson. Not exactly a fortress, but a tough place to play, and it's given away carelessly. Here's Barril trying to slide it through for Jean. Nice interception back there by Jean Angola. Last line of defense, and he had to make the challenge. He did well in the end. Adrian Vera now pushing it out for Traore. Let's come back to that left-hand side. You see it's 3 at the back there with 5 in the midfield. They'll push it on the left-hand side behind Aguilar. Once again, the flag is down. The cross easily repelled by Justin Chavez. That width really being utilized by Los Angeles early on. In possession a little careless now as Apia falls to the feet of Alvarez, has that languid presence. Such a gifted young man, the youngest player ever signed by a USL team, 15 years of age. And it's opened up on the counterattack, and here comes OKC behind the likes of Barril. Had some movement there for Dixon, but couldn't quite make the connection. Here's Ross. This is where OKC can do themselves a world of good. Just take a little bit of the sting out the LA Galaxy approach. Los Dos, as they're known in these parts. The strong start, energetic. Sides really looking to carve open their first full-blown opportunity. Schultz able to win it back. Sweep feet in the center this time by Achimpong, the Ghanaian. Part of that all-Ghanaian connection back there between Achimpong and his countryman Emmanuel Appiah, making his 13th start of the season. Ross trying to slide it through and reading that outside channel well is the Galaxy defense and Andre Zanga. Big Cameroonian back there, part of that 3 center back line with Schultz pushing up a little bit higher. Zanga, a hard man that's played a variety of roles last year, a lot of time in central midfield, adjusting to his position at the back. And didn't he do well? Here's Aguilar. Still no goals between these two. It's a long diagonal switch, trying to pick out Nate Schultz. It's well won at the back, and it drops for Ross. He's going to be that number 6 that sits in front of that back 4. Provide that shield, very much the destroyer for OKC Energy. Last year it was a 1-1 draw back in July before OKC ran riot over LA in October, 3-0 in Oklahoma. Trying to pick out Lopez now, operating on an island all by himself, and Lopez rounds a defender, all eyes to the referee, points to the spot, and it's going to be a penalty kick for LA. It was Lopez brought to ground under the challenge of Chavez. And the captain has relinquished a trip to the penalty spot and really put his side in hot water early on. Excellent work here from Lopez, who refused to give up. Strong, sturdy presence at that low center of gravity, no doubt about it. And Chavez, clearly the guilty party. Another look from behind here, just dives in and gets all of Lopez. It's clear as day, 100% a penalty. No grounds for argument, and now the Galaxy behind their Cuban striker, who's been red hot as of late. It's Frank Lopez going mano a mano against Cody Lorendi. And a chance to draw first blood here at StubHub. Lopez with the long run up, and it's Lopez, keeps it low and hard, cool as you like. And the Galaxy storm out in front 13 minutes in. It's Los Dos 1, OKC 0. Well, he earned it, and he took it, just desserts. 10th goal of the season for the Cuban defectee, Frank Lopez. One of those 5 changes tonight for Mike Munoz, paying huge dividends. He earned the penalty kick, and no doubt about it, opens up his body, hits it right off the post. Confident take that time from the 23-year-old. So Lopez keeping the Galaxy's faint playoff hopes alive. And unlike the last 2 games, it's the Galaxy that start the better of the 2, as they've been forced to come from behind the last 2 times out. And now, what kind of a response will we see from OKC? Just wasn't a very good challenge from Chavez, clearly beaten, but a goal of his own volition and of his own making. All the credit in a one-man show on that occasion by Frank Lopez. He's a handful, has that low center of gravity, just around 5'6", but so difficult to dislodge off the ball. Galaxy looking long, trying to pick out Alvarez. And it's dropped fortuitously to the teenager, trying to set Lopez on his way, and out comes the keeper. Lorendi's had enough of that. The game turned on its head. Rasmussen now. Ross will play it near side for Kyle Highland. At one time on the books with the Columbus Crew. A lot of players, as I mentioned, with MLS experience. Here's one of them, Atiba Harris. little bit of a poor ball that time, putting Rasmussen under unnecessary pressure. The Galaxy only too happy to oblige as Alvarez nearly put it through. There's the teenager once again. Quick turn from him, and Lopez goes down under the challenge of Highland. Glancing to the referee, Mark Radchuk, who's not at all interested in the foul. Here's Jose Barrio. Getting the better of Emmanuel Apia. Barrio, a 26-year-old Spaniard. You mentioned that experience. He's got the European pedigree as well. Spent some time as a teenager in the Real Madrid youth setup. Got the pedigree here. Some very good players for the visitors tonight. Here's one of them, Highland, operating at left fullback. Been largely pinned in early on. Ross trying to put an end to that, or he's harried from behind by Lopez, and it's going to be an obvious foul against the Galaxy striker. Just coming in from behind, a little too aggressive. Claimed by Rasmussen now, helped on by Bustos, but given away, and Apia will wisely go back to his keeper, Eric Lopez. A big presence back there. He's 19 years of age, still growing at 6'1", as Aguilar turns and enters the OKC half. Vera. Such good linking play. The passing very crisp. Galaxy seem to get better and better in that department with each and every game as these players become more familiar with each other. Here's Zanga. Good touch from Apia now as the African connection working out on beautiful triangles, opening up. The 1-2 with Apia, and that one goes astray on the final ball. And while we've got a moment, now Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com and receive free shipping on orders over $50. So the Galaxy riding high on a goal in the 13th minute from Frank Lopez. Very much in the driver's seat, but a lot of soccer remaining here. Big night tonight. One of 3 games in USL on this Wednesday evening. Here's Apia. Taking on all comers, supported by Alvarez, who's dropped into that deeper role. He's got that venomous left foot, lets it fly, and not off by much. You see the power the young teenager has. Efrain Alvarez coming close, but not too far off. Likes to drop into those deeper rolls. No one closes him down. Says, why not? As it flashes wide of Lorendi's goal. So another scare, and you look at Alvarez, amazing totals, amazing numbers on him. 9 goals, doesn't really raise a lot of eyebrows, but very respectable. But when you think about it, coming in just 13 appearances, 9 of which were starts. An absolute incredible return. He's the real deal. Here's Adrian Vera. Leaves it wide for Miguel Aguilar, switches the point of attack. This is Zanga. He's done well. All LA early on. Zachimpong locates Adrian Vera, lays it out wide. Aguilar not shy about taking on defenders now, goes through, slaloming run here from Aguilar, and sliding Lorendi, only preventing Aguilar and LA from their second goal. A timely intervention from the OKC goalkeeper. They're right back on it though. Apia lets it go, and that one entirely off the mark. There seems to be a nervousness about OKC right now, unsure, trying to play out of the back. Once again, it's Efrain Alvarez after a brilliant run here from the captain, Miguel Aguilar. Just slaloming through all comers. And OKC unable to clear their lines. And they'll have a player receive medical attention. While we have a moment, the USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live games, updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. You can follow us at USL on Twitter. That's where we stand, and certainly time for OKC to collect their bearings right now and reassess. Hasn't been a very productive opening 20 minutes, but a difficult place to play, and a team that really is trying to get back to winning ways, and before they lose all hope and grasp on any playoff chances, do not want to start into a losing funk and come up on the wrong end of the stick for the third time running tonight. Plenty of time to rectify that, as it's sent into the Southern California night by Lorendi. Lovely touch from Alvarez, makes it look so effortless. Just a smooth gliding presence about the teenagers, a special one. And it'll go safely back for Cody Lorendi. Puerto Rico international by way of being born in Florida and going to college here in the States. Highland unable to get onto that one, so it'll be a throw here for Los Angeles. OKC not noted for their attacking exploits. Scored 38 times this season. That ties them for 15th best coming into today with Fresno. Plenty of room for improvement. Here's John. Just losing out, and it'll drop fortuitously for Ingola. It's such a big part of this Galaxy defense since coming over from the Kaji Sports Academy back in 2017. He and his countryman Andre Zaga coming over together and really finding quite a home in Southern California here with Los Dos. Here's Achimpong. Good link play with Alvarez. Simple turn as he brings others into it. Good movement down this left-hand side. The cross out in front. Oh, it's Appiah. It's Schultz who pulls it back, and it was OKC rocked on their heels. Dodge a big bullet, but they're not out of the woods yet. Achimpong, a little heavy with the feet on a lovely ball there from Alvarez, who gets it right back. Alvarez shredding his way through that midfield. Schultz now with a couple of step-overs. Looking dangerous now for OKC. And it's Achimpong who has his shot blocked, and it's Alvarez who took a swing at it and was hit. And it's a foul, an obvious one in the making, and a wonderful opportunity from a dead ball situation for LA. He tried to take it quick, but the referee will order it retaken. Another look here. It was Alvarez quick to it, but the obvious foul committed. Haven't put their best foot forward defensively. OKC, they have conceded 44 times. Coming in today, they're tied with Portland Timbers 2 for the 11th most goals allowed in the league. So Achimpong, it sits up real nicely here, folks, for a left footer. He will conspire the likes of Emmanuel Appiah. What can the Galaxy draw up here? Looking to go 2 goals to the good midway through half number 1. Achimpong wearing the number 44. He does have it in his locker. And it will be a 5-man wall lined up, with Highland flaring off just to Achimpong's left shoulder there. So big test upcoming now for Cody Lorendi. But who will he see? Will it be Appiah or will it be Achimpong? As Mark Ratchet finally gets it going, and it's Achimpong. It works its way through the wall and off the OKC defense for the first corner of the evening for LA. So Alvarez to take it. So we'll see what they draw up here. Up comes Zaga. They've got some heavy artillery. Jean Ingola slow to come in. Didi Traore as well amongst the targets. Here comes the in-swinger from Efrain Alvarez. Right back in. It's nicely headed away by Highland. Clever back heel from Appiah. Alvarez looks up, sends it right in, and a strong punch from Lorendi. In falls for Aguilar, keeps it low. It was ambitious there from the Galaxy captain, but that one ultimately off target.
Hey, well done, guys. Well done.
Well, fans, be there for every jaw-dropping, must-see Galaxy moment in 2019 as an LA Galaxy season ticket member. Season ticket members receive best seats at the best rates, members-only events, exclusive access to LA Galaxy players and alumni, plus much, much more. Season ticket memberships, well, they start as low as $17 per match. To purchase or for more information, make sure to visit lagalaxy.com/since96. Highland looking for some semblance of possession here. Trying to put something together of consequence, but Achimpong breaking it up. They've just overrun this midfield, and here's Adrian Vera with a pocket of space to work with. Squares it for Apia. Here's Schultz. Proactive here. Those wide rolls. Apia trying to switch the point of attack. Aguilar brings it down. Flag is down. Some durable defending at the back from OKC. Well, it's been determined here. There's a fire lit under this LA Galaxy crew. Aguilar at the center of it. Former DC United man. Steering LA to 9 wins in their 28 games. Not quite the total they were looking for. That's, of course, alongside 13 losses and 6 draws. Good enough for 13th in the Western Conference as this flick comes all the way back to Lopez, who is forced to ascend to the edge of his penalty area. Lopez really has a look of promise about him. Still looking for his first clean sheet of the season. Galaxy, a team that's been exceptionally charitable at the back. As I mentioned, 53 goals allowed in their first 28 games. Trying to prove upon the league's worst mark of 64 in 2017. It's claimed by Rasmussen. Youth versus experience, and so far it's youth that's had the better of it. As it goes back to Lopez, and the teenager thumps it away. Apia losing out. It was a heavy elbow that time put in by Harris, but it's claimed on that left-hand side by Aguilar. Traore. Or rather, Zonga. Zonga did have some disciplinary problems in 2017. Has really shown a greater maturity now, just 21 years of age. Nobody, of course, over the age of 24 in this LA Galaxy starting lineup. That man, Apia, the elder statesman of the starting 11 tonight. In stark contrast to this OKC team, who don't have anybody under the age of 23. And it's opened up nicely, and a wonder save from Lopez to deny Baril. Best look of the night for OKC, and it was wonderfully played in. And the Spaniard just trying to work his way past the outstretched Lopez, who used every inch of his 6'1" frame to stop it. John with a lovely return ball. He got in behind Achimpong. Had a golden opportunity for the equalizer, but a chance that goes begging. Just not enough power in the end. Rasmussen will set it up. Here's Dixon, who's been a very quiet character. Despite boasting some impressive numbers, he tried to set it into the path of Baril. And a little too heavy that time for the Spaniards, so a goal kick coming up. Galaxy, of course, looking to take 3 points. If they can do so, they move level with Colorado Switchbacks FC. Or rather overtake Colorado, as well as Fresno and OKC, and can move within 6 points of St. Louis and Reno and take sole possession of 10th place by the end of tonight. A lot of time between now and then as we close in on the half-hour mark. Big night tonight in USL as everybody starts to watch each other and the standings Penn SC 1-0 winners over Indy 11. Paolo Jr. on target in the second half for Penn. Baril trying to slide it to the right-hand side for Dixon, who's been nearly non-existent tonight. Didi Traore cleaning up at the back and avoiding the corner kick. So will be a throw now for OKC. It's solid so far. Just the one chance relinquished. Long throw in. It's cleared away, but it sits up for Dixon, who slices through it. Drops for Highland. Twisting and turning, well closed down by Nate Schultz, trying to make the most of his starting opportunity. All 9 of his appearances resulting in starts so far this season for the Galaxy right back. Now Aguilar losing out at far side. Here's Bustos with the dummy now for Highland, trying to race in behind Schultz. Stride for stride, and once again the fullback for the Galaxy does really well. Got pace in wide areas, LA. It'll be difficult for OKC to get in behind, as it's cleared away by Zanga. And referee spotting something he didn't like away from the ball. He's going to have a word. I believe he's not pleased with Drew Beckel. So Michael Ranchuk, it's going to be a booking rather for Atiba Harris. So Atiba receiving his 3rd yellow card of the season. So the free kick now for LA, a strange one there. I'm sure Harris perhaps a little too vociferous for the referee's liking. Interesting contrasting tactics tonight for both of these two. A 3-5-2 against that 4-5-1. Here's Apia. Oh, beautiful ball for Lopez, who tried to lay it in the path of Alvarez. Those two almost a telepathic understanding for each other. Here's Veres, sends it out wide. This is Miguel Aguilar, who's got speed to burn. The young Mexican slips around one. Brilliant one once again. It's Aguilar. As it blocked. Those real incisive runs from wide positions, and he can be so dangerous, Aguilar. Traore will send it back, and a safety first approach for his keeper Lopez, who pretty good with his feet. OKC anxious to get on with it. Here's Chavez, who gave away that penalty kick. High pressure now from Los Dos. Calmly played by Chavez. And Highland will switch the point of attack to this right-hand side. Beckel. Operating that right back role, can play a variety of positions at the back. Partnering Chavez over the weekend. The heart of that defense. That one nearly played up for Dixon before. It wasn't exactly orthodox defending, but in the end effective enough, and it's going to open up the corner kick now for OKC. It's an OKC Energy team really trying to pick itself up. And a heartbreaking loss down south of here in Orange County. A team that was up 2-1 heading into stoppage time, but in the 4th and 5th minute of stoppage time, allowing 2 goals, ending up 3-2 losers. Real difficult pill for them to swallow. So they'll bring Harris forward from the center of defense, along with Beckel, as we prepare for the outswinger and a big test for Los Angeles. This could be the perfect ticket back As once again, Michael Radchuk trying to sort it out there in that scrum of sorts. He's going to have a word with Appia and Beckel. Say, boys, hey, listen, I know there's some pushing and shoving. Cool it, let's get on with it and play some soccer. Keep your eye, of course, on Adam John, the big 6'3" striker. Always so good in the air. Saw that in his time with San Jose. That one lifted up. Beckel wins the header, but sends it well off target. Nothing too serious arising there. While we've got a moment, you can watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/USL Soccer. (1-0) here at the StubHub Track and Field Stadium, just a stone's throw away from the official pitch, occupied by the senior team. Big news around Southern California and with LA, saying goodbye to Ziggy Schmid on Monday. His former assistant, now interim manager, Dominic Kinnear, will take charge for the final 6 games of the season. LA very much like this Los Dos team on the outside looking in a playoff race. There hasn't been a shortage of drama this year in La La Land, that's for sure. A little careless now, and slowly but surely OKC, the visitors, growing into this game. Harris. It's going to be Adrian Vera, the man down for Los Angeles. A little slow to get up, or rather Frank Lopez. Really ill afford to lose him at this point. He's been such a mobile presence up top. Traditionally, not exactly that number 9 you would think so effective as a lone striker. As Lopez looks to walk it off. And little display of sportsmanship with Beckel. He certainly has done a good job of it here. Occupies those defenders. So strong is Lopez. Spent some time at the Miami Soccer Academy for 3 years before. It was immediately after his defection in the 2015 CONCACAF Olympic qualifiers. 3 years in Miami and signing up with the LA Galaxy 2 this season, and what a revelation he's been with 10 big goals. Now tied with Ethan Zubak for top on the team. Chavez. Former Tampa Bay Rowdy man. Links up with Harris. As I mentioned, 7 MLS clubs on his resume. Most recently, of course, with FC Dallas, where Oscar Pereira converted him from his more traditional wide attacking roles to that of a fullback. Not that uncommon of an occurrence for attacking players as they begin to enter the later stages of their careers. Galaxy saw with Robbie Rogers. Chris Albright as well comes to mind. Callum Ross under pressure from Appia. Lopez bearing down. It's a little too aggressive from Emmanuel Appia. Former St. Louis FC man. Just getting the best of Ross, and a free kick now for Atiba Harris. And OKC really needs some creative inspiration at this point. So Harris will defer to his keeper, Lorendi. The Galaxy looking to keep a real high line here. They go in retreat. Won by Zonga. Here's Highland though onto that second ball. Bustos chips it in, trying to pick out John before Angola heads it away. It drops nicely for Vera. Alvarez, lovely touch now. Vera just digging it out, and here come Los Dos, switching the point of attack for Nate Schultz. Achimpong. Schultz. Strong bank of four with one in front. It'll be difficult to break through, and it's careless now. And here comes OKC. Behind the likes of John, sets it into the path now. This could be their moment. It's Baril! Yes! Lightning quick on the counter-attack. Quick as lightning. And just like that, OKC strike back. It's LA 1, OKC Energy 1. Jose Baril with his second goal of the season on a brilliant ball, perfectly orchestrated by Adam John on a textbook counterattack. And the Galaxy sucker punched 4 minutes from halftime. Caught out as Baril gets in behind. It's a mistake by Appiah, and John leads the counterattack. And a beautifully weighted ball by the former Stanford man, and a very cheeky take from the former Real Madrid winger, Jose Baril. Just his second goal, sells it to the near post, goes far with that inside of the outside right foot. My goodness, what a goal, and calmly taken. Just like that, despite all the dominance and all the possession the Galaxy have had, right back on level terms, and now OKC on top. Oh, lovely flick inside from John, trying to pick out Dixon, and suddenly it's Los Angeles in a slight state of disarray. How will they respond? That is the question. Here's Bustos. Trying to get some width now. Dropping it for Baril, trying to thread the needle for Dixon, who'd come over from his wide roll on the right-hand side. Adam John picking up, by the way, his first assist of the season on that one. Galaxy just caught wanting. And that will really lift Oklahoma City's spirits going into halftime. It won't be all doom and gloom with teacups flying everywhere from head coach Steve Cook.
Up again! Up again! Double left shoulder!
Appiah. Once again, it's Radchuk. He just wants to have a word with Appiah, saying, hey, cool your temper. Appiah's really come in sometimes overzealous tonight. Such is the degree of his commitment, though. So desperate to impress. Still no bookings for Los Dos. Great crowd tonight. Temperatures cooling down in Southern California. Midweek treat for you here on ESPN Plus with USL, one of 3 games tonight. Penn FC taking care of business against Indy 11. Real Monarchs SLC in Salt Lake City taking on St. Louis FC. Big game there. St. Louis looking to move past the likes of Reno and San Antonio and solidify their spot in the top 8. Galaxy are going to need some help, as are OKC, if they want to qualify for the playoffs. 6 games remain, including tonight. There really seems to be an air of composure now for this experienced OKC Energy team. Baril, the goal scorer, linking up nicely, and it's cut out wisely at the back by Angola. Here's Beckel. Or rather Rasmussen. Trying to set it on the way down. They've gotten in behind. It's a good-looking cross, but plucked out of the air by Lopez. Alvarez has been a real quiet presence as of late for LA. Is cheaply given away as the visitors look to shrink the field here, playing a little higher line and making that space a little bit more of a rarer commodity than it was earlier. Here's Callum Ross, the Englishman. Oh, he's done brilliantly here, and it's worked its way forward, but the flag is up offside against OKC Energy and Alex Dixon. That was a little tight. Referees assisted on that far side, Togai and Tarim. Quick to raise his flag as 2 minutes, as it has been confirmed, a minimum of 2 minutes will be added on here in Carson. Newly refurbished stadium, the beginning of the campaign. Ample space now to operate in the center of the park. Here's Highland dropping it back for Chavez. Ross. John trying to time his run. Once again, the Galaxy playing a high line. Highland. Good movement here. The flag is down for Barril, leaves it back. It's John, and the foot save there from Lopez. Brilliantly done by the LA goalkeeper to deny OKC. Perfectly orchestrated and a wonderful ball back from Barril. Right on a platter that time from John, who really has to do better with that. Point blank range, about 8 yards away, straight to the keeper. And Eric Lopez saving LA's bacon. That really would have been a tough one to absorb for Los Dos heading into halftime, considering the way things have gone here. Justin Chavez for OKC now. And they are starting to ping it around. There's a confidence right now oozing out of this team. Far from the side that was overwhelmed by the youthful exuberance of LA in the earlier stages of this first half. Rasmussen drops it back for Lorendi, his keeper. And he'll give that one a ride. A little overambitious that time for Drew Beckel. And that's going to do it. First half is in the books. It has been pleasing on the eye, full of all kinds of endeavor and energy. And it was LA Galaxy 2, the beneficiary of a defensive miscue by Justin Chavez, who clumsily brought down Frank Lopez. Lopez subsequently stepping up to the spot to convert his 10th goal of the season. 1-0 for Los Dos, who really were in the ascendancy throughout much of this first half. But in the last 7 to 8 minutes, OKC digging in, and they get a strike 4 minutes from time from Jose Barril, the Spaniard, to draw level, and nearly took the lead a moment ago as Barril set the table for Adam John, but had it saved by Eric Lopez. So halftime here in our USL midweek match of the week. It's LA 1, OKC Energy 1 on ESPN+.
He cuts to the right, goes up against the end line, tries to get across the way. He does, into the area. Bicycle, in on goal, score! Mauricio's in finals, and we're tied at 2!
Santos. Sensational! The Los Angeles Galaxy are rampant. Alessandrini cutting back. Alessandrini! How sweet it is! The Los Angeles Galaxy have their reward!
Going forward is a Frenchman. He's tired. Sedin is going to catch up to him. What a ball and what a finish!
And welcome back to the StubHub Track and Field Stadium here in Carson, California, the home of Los Dos, LA Galaxy 2, who got off to a great start. 1-0 after 13 minutes. Frank Lopez putting home the penalty kick after earning the penalty himself. Some discombobulated defending from Justin Chavez, but credit OKC Energy, who really fought and willed their way back into this one in the late stages. The equalizer coming 4 minutes from halftime from the Spaniard Jose Barril. Let's take a look back at the first half highlights here and some of the better moments between these two Western Conference rivals with everything to play for here. And it was Lopez. We'll begin with the goal. It started from this foul. No doubt about it. Referee Michael Radchuk, without hesitation, pointing to the spot. And Lopez, who earned it, he would take it. Lights out, baby. Goal number 10 of the campaign. LA off and running, 1-0. Expertly taken, by the way, off that post from the Cuban former defectee. What an acquisition he's been. And then it was Aguilar, had a series of wonderful runs cutting in from that left-hand side. This one foiled by Cody Lorendi. And once again, more success coming from the left, and the likes of Aguilar wheeled his way through, set up nicely for Appia, but Schultz pulls it back straight into the teeth of that OKC defense. And then it would be the visitors growing into this one. John helps it on. Barril denied that time by Eric Lopez, who was sensational, making 2 big stops in the first half. The young teenager called into action. And then the careless giveaway would result in the equalizer. John would set Barril on his way, and check this out for an expert finish. Outside of the right boot, dink! Right past Lopez, 1-1. Just beautifully taken, expertly done by the Spaniard. That inside right, off the outside of his boot, to that far post. Second goal of the season for the former Real Madrid man. Set up another chance just after that for John, but Lopez, once again, coming to LA's aid. It was a beautiful drag back where John surely should have made it 2-1, but he couldn't. Brilliant goalkeeping once again by the 19-year-old Eric Lopez, keeping LA in this one very much. So there you have it, all the action here in the first half. We're going to step aside one more time. Keep it right here. It's LA 1 and OKC 1 at the break.
Oh, what a save by Pickett! And it's slammed in by Allen Ware. Takes the shot and scores! This is Nashville SC. Save by Bell. Stylish, sensational.
How's it going, everyone? USL's Kelsey Steele here with FC Cincinnati defender Forrest Lasso. So we're well aware of what Forrest can do on the pitch, so today we're going to see what he's got on the court. We've got a game of horse going with a few questions in between. So Forrest, you want to get to it?
Let's do it.
Go.
Oh, let's go. Oh, pressure's on. Let's do it.
We got an H, people! So, you're a rally guy. Favorite part about North Carolina?
Ooh, sweet tea and barbecue.
MJ or LeBron?
Oh, that's like the Pele Messi question.
There's only one right answer.
I mean, I'm definitely biased, so I'm MJ. We'll go with Bank this time.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, we got a letter.
Okay, sweet spot then on the court.
Top of the key.
Top
Why
of the
not?
key, okay.
Oh, yes.
Whose play would you mirror the most?
Little size difference with Dwayne Wade. He was the reason I started watching the NBA.
Get out of here. What, only 5'6", 5'7" at 16, and now you're pushing 6'7" at 25. What's that like for you?
So being the small guy, I was like the run of the litter growing up. I was always the smallest guy on every team, and then once it started to grow, I would like to say I was more technically sound when I was younger and smaller. And as I kind of grew, I kept the technical part of my game, and then I also realized that I had the physical side. When it comes to the game, it's definitely been a blessing. It's a special tool or trait that not everybody has, obviously.
Killing me.
Needed that.
Being pulled in from that Cincinnati community, what do they bring to you guys?
Oh man, I've been playing this game since, I don't know, 3 years old. Everybody likes the game, not everybody loves the game, and when you go to Cincinnati, you can tell that there's 40,000 people that love it.
You're roommates with Jimmy. Tell me you've got a good story or two living with him over these last few months.
We've probably seen it on a few goal celebrations, but he's got absolutely no rhythm. He's probably gonna hate that I told the world this, but he's, when it comes to dancing, this guy's pretty fun to watch.
No, that's short. Ah! Give it to the champ.
That was fun.
That'll do it for us today, Forrest. Thanks for coming along and bearing the heat with us. For now, that'll do it from Tampa.
And welcome back. We check on some of the other scores in the two other games that have unfolded tonight in USL. Full-time, Penn FC 1-0 winners against Indy 11. It was Penn FC's Paulo Jr. on the 57th minute with the only goal of the game. And midway through the second half, it's Real Monarchs SLC 1-1 against St. Louis. While fall on target for St. Louis early on, but Jose Hernandez 5 minutes from halftime. That one, of course, has a huge bearing on tonight's festivities. As we take a look at the table right now in the standings and the way it shapes up right now, St. Louis, of course, one of those two teams that both OKC and LA are chasing, level on 42 points at the likes of Reno 1868, and both of these two teams hoping that the adversaries, in this case Real Monarchs SLC, can do them a big favor. Still a lot of soccer remaining to be played here, but a chance for both Los Dos and OKC to make some headway here. Remember, the top 8 qualify for the USL playoffs. Well, halftime here, it's Los Dos 1, OKC Energy 1. Keep it right here. We're going to take another break, but when we return, we'll have the second half. It's the USL Match of the Week right here on ESPN+. Stay with us.
My room might be on fire, but I run faster on high, 'cause it's the beat that
It's a big 45 minutes ahead for both LA Galaxy 2 and OKC Energy. It is halftime here. 1-1 is the scoreline as we get set for the start of the second half. The goals coming on the 13th and 41st minute. It was a game really of two halves within the first half. Los Angeles really owning much of the possession for the first 25-30 minutes, but then it was OKC Energy really willing and battling their way back into this one. Jose Barril getting the goal 4 minutes of time after Frank Lopez had set LA on their way, and then a series of great opportunities, both of which orchestrated by Barril as well as Adam John, but some brilliant goalkeeping from Eric Lopez, keeping this LA team in it now, and a vital 45 minutes coming up for both the hosts as well as the visitors. I'm sure for Mike Munoz, one of the key points that he probably did stress during his halftime team talk was more involvement and more touches on the ball for Efrain Alvarez, who when LA were the most dangerous, he of course was integral in the approach. Meanwhile, the other side of the coin, it's a OKC team. They were looking slightly disheveled and disorganized. In fact, giving away that first goal via the error from Justin Chavez. They managed to tighten things up, dig in, play a little bit of a higher line, and press LA just a bit, as a result, resulting in more possession and just battling their way back into it. So it should be a fascinating final 45 minutes here at the StubHub at Track and Field Stadium, where LA are looking to improve upon their mark of 6 wins, 4 defeats, and 4 draws in their 14 games, dropping 20 points at home though, taking 22 from 42 possible. It's got to get better. So it will be LA kicking us off. They are in their home white strip. Captain Miguel Aguilar, and a quick check of the watch. OKC in their dark strip, kicking from left to right. We are underway. Happy to have you along here for USL Soccer on ESPN+. I'm Christian Miles. Mission impossible for LA, who began the night 9 points adrift of that final playoff spot. 7 points adrift are their visitors, OKC Energy. So it could be a make or break evening, depending on what transpires elsewhere. Last time we checked, Real Monarchs, SLC, and St. Louis are one of those teams hovering on the bubble in that 8th position, 1-1 midway through the second half in Salt Lake City. LA looking for greater energy. It's Vera getting stuck into midfield, but possession all too short-lived, and it's claimed now by Bustos. And Marco Bustos has done well. Locates the likes of Drew Beckel, who's playing in that right fullback role tonight with Atiba Harris back from international duty with St. Kitts and Nevis. And Rasmussen dropping into that deeper role alongside Callum Ross, part of that midfield too, in that 4-5-1 setup of sorts for OKC Energy. They'll have, of course, Adam John, who started this one up top. So Barril has come out to the right-hand side. And here's Dixon, whose effect was limited in the first half. Not too many touches isolated on that right-hand side. Beckel for Harris. Partnered once again by the American Chavez, a Canadian-American connection between Beckel and Chavez back there. It's a real English flavor about this team, headed up by manager Steve Cook. Spent so much time in the Colorado Rapids system. In fact, was given the head coaching reins last year following the dismissal of Pablo Mastroeni before signing up with OKC Energy this campaign. Good defending back there as Ingala gets goal side of the OKC goal scorer Barril. Barril so influential down this left-hand side. It'll be interesting to see how he fares. Down the right. Rasmussen. Barril. Alex Dixon comes in as their second top goal scorer. That one launched by Beckel, trying to pick out John.
Come on, Nate.
And drops to the feet of LA's Jeffrey Achimpong. And a pretty good first half an hour, really digging into that central midfield role alongside Appiah. But slowly but surely, OKC able to get the better of them in the later stages of half number one. Slipping through his Baril. He's done brilliantly. The turn from Bustos. And a sliding tackle made by Engela. The big Cameroonian won it. Getting too much of Bustos in the process, and he's put his team in a dire situation here. Here's the free kick, and Engela thought he won this cleanly. Swing and a miss. Engela just diving in and, well, did win the ball, but on the follow-through, got a little bit too much of Marco Bustos. Bustos getting his second consecutive start. Signed, of course, last month from Zacatepec, the Mexican second division. Making just his fifth appearance, and now putting his team in fine fettle to take their first lead on the night. Standing over this is the Dane, Philip Rasmussen. As LA will line up their four-man wall. A pivotal moment this, early in half number one. Rasmussen, what has he got in his locker? And it's Rasmussen! Straight into Lopez. Had plenty of power. Placement, though, straight at the goalkeeper. Lopez, despite his young years being wet behind the ears, shown good maturity holding his ground. Nothing too troublesome. Lopez, of course, as I mentioned, still looking for his first clean sheet of the season, now in his 7th start of the campaign, taking the place of Justin Bomsteeg, who was flat out brilliant on Saturday in Vegas, making 8 big saves against the Lights. Here's Ross, now for Kyle Highland. Links up well with John Smart, ball wide on the left for Baril. Flag is down, the Spaniard slips around Zaga, brilliantly played. And Appiah has done well to win it now, and a chance for Los Dos to counterattack. Appiah with his head up, links up with Lopez. Oh, and it's Lopez who brought that down somehow or another, but couldn't work his way past Harris in that OKC defense. And he's really paid the price here, Lopez. Cuban rolling around on the ground and a real high degree of pain. As referee Michael Radchek will call a halt to this. Grabbing that back of his right leg, and never a good sign. And we may see Mike Munoz forced into his first substitute of the evening for LA. Lopez in a whole bunch of pain here. Another look. He did so well to bring this down with that touch. To set himself on his way and just gets that right ankle tied up with Atiba Harris. Tough one there for Frank Lopez, is as tough as they come. While we've got a moment, how well do you know the USL? Test your knowledge in USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition every week, and you could win tickets to an upcoming USL game of your choice. Lopez with the only goal for LA. The bright spot today, of course, Justin Dillon in the attack. Ari Lassiter, not part of the starting setup. Galaxy making wholesale changes, in fact 5 changes, one of which came with Lopez up top from the team that won 2-1 in Las Vegas over the weekend. Lopez, it looks as though he'll be hard-pressed to continue on, as much as he wants to do so. Galaxy with only 5 substitutes available, and the lone striker up top as a substitute officially would be Jonathan Hernandez. We'll see if Lopez can go, but I'm sure Mike Munoz has all kinds of tactical sophistication as well as depth at his disposal. Could make use of some of these attacking midfields and thrust them into a roll up top if necessary. We've seen that from Alvarez, despite the fact that he does like to play a little deeper. Justin Dillon not on the substitutes bench tonight. Kobe Hernandez, Jonathan Hernandez, as well as Hugo Arellano and Jorge Hernandez, joining backup goalkeeper Wade Hamilton on the bench. Remember, it's a big week for Los Dos. They get set to pay a visit on Saturday to Reno 1868. which the way things are looking will be a must-win for them. Here's Harris. Higher pressure once again. Galaxy temporarily down to 10 men as Lopez looking to come back in. It looks as though he's going to shake off the after effects of that challenge with Atiba Harris. It'll be a big switch now for Drew Beckel, the 27-year-old Canadian. It's been a good start to the second half for the visitors. Back at the other end as Ingela goes tumbling. So will be corner kick coming up now for OKC.
Come on, Jeff. F1, Jeff. Hey, my job.
Those back-to-back defeats, both coming on the road. This is the third consecutive on their travels, OKC. Second corner of the evening now for the visitors. Standing over it is Bustos, delivers to that far post, and headed away by Schultz. Here's Baril, who lines one up and sends it well high of Lopez's goal. To run down the numbers for you, at the end of the first half in terms of shots, the Galaxy actually saw OKC with the better of it. 5 shots for the Galaxy, 2 of which were on target, 6 opportunities for OKC, 3 of which were steered on frame. And it was OKC edging it in possession with 51% of it, just 1 corner each in the first half. That's a poor kick from Lopez. Relinquishing an unforced error, relinquishing possession in his own half now. And it's OKC only too happy to oblige as Beckel sends it back. Harris leaves it for Chavez. Build out of the back. Three wins, 7 defeats, and 3 draws on their travels this season. In their 13 games away from home. Here's John trying to get goal side of Ingela, who recovered well. The referee's assistant spotting the foul here on the near side, so a free kick for LA. Interesting individual matchup there between not just the likes of Ingela against John, but as well as Traore. Ingela, an absolute specimen of an athlete. Strength, good positioning. Just trying to improve upon the reading of his game. Player that may give the senior team manager, whether it be Dom Kinney or anybody else, perhaps some selection problems in the future. That is the goal of these players. Alvarez. Triangles here. Aguilar trying to get back to their basics. Achimpong late to intervene. So it will be an OKC throw-in. Well-traveled international experience for a lot of these OKC Energy players, and you think of the likes of Atiba Harris and Cody Lorendi. Rasmussen, Denmark under 21 international. Got the pedigree. Sloppy though from Beckel now, and Alvarez only too happy to oblige, trying to square it for Lopez. Had a sea of OKC Energy defenders swarming in front of him, however. That one will be kicked out of play by Lorendi. Sloppy that time, and once again an unforced error. Just a matter of concentration, lackadaisical from Jeffrey Achimpong, who was so sharp in the first half. There's Kyle Hyland for OKC Energy. Has support in this center, and Rasmussen trying to pick out Alex Dixon. Didn't quite get goal side of Miguel Aguilar. A little tug at the top there, witnessed by the referee's assistant. So once again, the free kick for Los Dos. Trying to find their way back into this one As Aguilar coming up the worst for wear. Former University of San Francisco Don. He played his college soccer with Dave Romney of the LA Galaxy senior team. We're moving on to DC United. Referee telling Trier to pull this one back just a bit. Los Dos perhaps taking a little bit of the liberty, as they say.
Not there, not there, not there, D, not there, D.
3 places, as well as 8 points separating these two coming into tonight. Nothing separating them as we get set to close in on the hour mark. As it goes down that far side, Highland says get up and play on.
Drop.
First half that was so open in nature now has really come to more of an ebb in half number 2. Chavez for Harris as Alvarez comes out of his shell. A little high pressure right now from Los Angeles. For Lorendi sends it forward to Adam John, who's done really well to hold up play. A little heavy on that touch, however. In the end, it's claimed by Schultz, who sent it right back to his keeper. You can see OKC just growing in their comfort in this one, but it's a little careless now as Appia happy to claim it. Alvarez trying to keep possession, playing it off of Rasmussen at midfield. Alvarez, who was just so integral early on. Some wonderful balls through. Really provided that pivotal creative link just behind the likes of Frank Lopez. Lopez still favoring that right leg, by the way. Playing that lone striker role with Alvarez behind him. And technically it's a 3-5-2, but if you want to call it, it's 3-5-1-1. Alvarez playing in just behind is that withdrawn striker. Lopez pressuring Chavez before he gives it a ride. So the throw now for Nate Schultz. Galaxy team featuring 3 teenagers in the starting 11 this evening. Same 11 that took the pitch starting the second half. Lopez nowhere to go. Closed down by 2 OKC defenders. Here's Drew Beckel as Aguilar comes forward on the left-hand side and forcing Lorendi to send it forward. When it may drop here, it was misread at the back that time by Andre Zaga as Ingela didn't win the header. Fortunately, it worked out as Schultz, though, quickly to relinquish possession right back to the visitors. John for Kyle Highland. Not a rampaging left fullback, but he's a solid two-way player. Likes to do the dirty work in the back. It's a good shape to this team. As I mentioned before, at the back, Rasmussen dropping in deeper. Also seen Ross back there. It may work out for John this time, who gets it all tangled up in the spokes and all wrong. At his finest moment, commits the foul from behind, and the referee thought he was going to reach for his pocket there. Not the finest moment for Adam John.
Substitution for OKC entered the FC in the 63rd minute of play. Team number 22, Marco Bustos. And team number 12, Christian Voleski.
And here's more danger for LA. Top goal scorer, Christian Voleski, the 25-year-old American, replacing Marco Bustos. So Bustos is playing just in behind the likes of John. This could be like for like. Could switch to a solid 4-4-2. May see a tactical wrinkle put forth by head coach Steve Cook. It's Voleski, you may remember, he scored the only goal the last time these two met in OKC 1-0 back in June. Acquired back in May on a trade with St. Louis, as OKC sent an international spot to their Western Conference rivals for the likes of Volesky. It's really paid off, leading the club in scoring this season with 10 goals. One better than the 9 that he amassed last year with St. Louis FC. Well played by Ingala to win it back. Schultz got a little bit more direct here. Gotten away from that short passing game that really proved to be so profitable in the first 35 minutes or so. Beckel helps it forward. This is Dixon. Ross now for Beckel. Ready to that right back roll. Good first touch from John. The idea was there, but the execution wasn't, forcing Lopez all the way out of his penalty area. Showed some nimble footwork, Eric Lopez, as well as some very good shot-stopping ability, making those 2 big saves on both Boril and John in the first half. Angola, the Cameroonian, for his countryman Zanga. Apia, large African presence in this Los Dos setup. 2 Ghanaians, Achimpong and Apia, 2 Cameroonians, Angola, as well as Andre Zanga in there. Well cut out by Adrian Vera. Here's Alvarez, that's where they want it. Perfectly placed ball for Lopez, but all credit to Chavez in this OKC defense, who reacted well. Other than the foot that they put wrong on that Lopez penalty kick and foul, it's been pretty tight. They may be victimized here. Is Apia trying to set it for Schultz, and Apia calls his own number, selfishly so, and lacked any accuracy whatsoever. And he knows it. Love to have that one back. Just wasn't to be. Well, fans, be there for every jaw-dropping must-see Galaxy moment in 2019 as an LA Galaxy season ticket member. Season ticket members receive best seats at the best rates, members-only events, exclusive access to LA Galaxy players and alumni, plus more. Season ticket memberships start as low as $17 per match. This one goes the other way. Cleared out in danger. To purchase or for more information, make sure to visit lagalaxy.com/since96. So against OKC. Good game tonight for Jean Angola. Part of that trio of central defenders, but a little too heavy on that passing. Must work on his distribution, I'm sure. Meanwhile, Dixon's located the likes of Ross, who sets a good streaking run from Volesky, who's saved by Lopez. Good movement, slick as you like from OKC. You're starting to look the part. Volesky rather, with some great movement here. Tough angle for him. Trying to pull it back across the body of the goalkeeper, and Lopez with his 6'1" frame does well to get down quickly. Much easier, much more difficult than it looks. So Volesky still tucking in just behind John, like we saw with Bustos. Achimpong just tripping up Rasmussen, and those two come together. Nothing too much in this one.
Hey, mark up. Hey, right shoulder, Zanga.
Western Conference tilt. As we hit the midpoint of half number 2, happy to have you along here on ESPN Plus, a big one in USL. Well determined each team's playoff fate. Certainly huge implications in the postseason. On the line tonight, OKC, losers of back-to-back games against the Galaxy, have won their last 2 straight, but that could all change. This one driven in by Baril to that far post. Down. It will drop for Alvarez, who really didn't put his best foot forward on that occasion. They've just lost their way, Los Angeles. Incision isn't there. The penetration hasn't been there as well, as Achimpong looking to go long to this right-hand side and pick out the run of Aguilar, who's gotten just in behind the likes of Highland. That's Aguilar putting on that left foot where he likes it. Loses a defender before he picks his pocket while on his backside. Well done to Kyle Highland to avert the danger for the time being, but Alvarez trying to help it on. Lopez just getting caught as he tried to roll past Chavez. Achimpong, former UCSB Gaucho. Part of that Right to Dream Academy setup in his native Ghana, which has brought forth the likes of Ima Boateng, Abu Danladi. He played his soccer at UCLA before moving on to Minnesota United. He's enjoyed so much success. Right inside, this one belted in.
Come on, guys.
Galaxy finally on the front foot. Appiah helping it forward. Some width now as Schultz is tucked in. Has the return ball, flag is down. Beautiful ball, it's Lopez! And the looping header really lacked any power as he had to adjust his body, but the movement and the approach and build-up has to be applauded by Los Dos. It all started with Appiah just poking it forward now, and Aguilar for Schultz, who hit it first time back across. The best move we've seen in the second half from the hosts. Get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition of From the Pitch, only on USLsoccer.com. Knocked down by Achimpong. Here's Alvarez, desperate to get involved. Achimpong trying to play it forward for Lopez, who was about a yard offside. And one of the easiest calls of the evening for the referee's assistant. Togayan Tarim manning the flag on that far side with Eduardo Jeff in charge here on the near side. Assisting referee Michael Radchuk this evening. Rasmussen. Baril. One-touch passing as it's freed up Highland on this left-hand side. He'll need a good cross, and it may drop, directed in, and OKC Energy have their second, superbly orchestrated on the build-up play, and it's the first time touch home. Rasmussen gets a hold of it, and just like that, the visitors have taken the lead. It's LA 1, OKC Energy 2. Philip Rasmussen with his second goal in as many games, with his third of the campaign, and the Dane took it expertly, but it was a sublime sequence of passing. Baril sends it wide, Highland checks up, finally crosses, and watch the way Rasmussen opens up his body past the near post. Deadly precision and a wonderful shaping of his body. You couldn't ask for a better finish from the Dane, and the experience starting to win out over the youth. The credit, the assist for both Kyle Highland as well as Baril. Baril, if he does get credited with it, it will be his 10th of the campaign. Highland definitely will record his second. So here's Traore. will we see LA? What are they made of? Troy makes a rare foray forward, long searching ball. Woleski couldn't quite get to it. What a setup it was. I have to give credit to the visitors who absorbed a lot of this attacking prowess, this youthful exuberance early on. They were on the back heel and wavering at times, but they've been the better team since, virtually willing themselves back into this one. Here's the 16-year-old Alvarez trying to set the table for Vera, who's brought down by Atiba Harris. The referee looks on, had a great view of it, and Vera, clutching his face, told to get up and play on. And back the other way we go for Christian Woleski. 1v1 against Andre Zanga. And he's gonna get the benefit of the referee's whistle here. Now you be the judge. It's Alvarez, beautifully weighted. And in he comes. And Vera, not much in that, no. In all honesty, that would have been very, very harsh against OKC Energy. Back at the other end, though. Referee had a great look. Michael Radchuk about 5 to 6 yards away. Clearly not a penalty kick. What is not in dispute, though, is this foul. As Zonga brought down Woleski, and now it's put Baril in another dangerous opportunity. And you got to think on the 75th minute, if a third does arise for the visitors, that could be nearly insurmountable for Los Dos, and dealing their playoff hopes a huge, huge blow. The biggest 15 minutes of the season upcoming right now for Los Dos. It's Baril who hits it with that right. The flick on. It's nearly there for John as it sails just wide. Just off by a matter of inches. The goal, by the way, the 40th of the season for OKC. Of course, affiliated with Major League Soccer's FC Dallas, after being affiliated in the past with Sporting Kansas City. Here's Emmanuel Appiah, second best, but bailed out by the referee's whistle. One wonders if there will be a change by Mike Munoz. Substitutions yet from the Los Dos manager. Vera. Just trying to keep his feet out. It's a terrible ball from Vela, gifting it now for Baril. And fortunately, the defense able to recover. Just a real casual ball here. They've lost their way, their belief. They need to get it back if they're going to take something positive out of this one, Los Angeles. Dixon drops that shoulder. Sends this one in early, but easily cut out by Lopez. He goes to ground.
Let's go.
No imminent signs of any changes from Mike Munoz and LA Galaxy 2. Here's Miguel Aguilar, supported by Zonga. Angola. The Galaxy have seen a few of these players depart, like Julian Buscher, who had his contract terminated last month by mutual consent. João Pedro shipped off as well, as Didi Traore puts in a great ball. Wonderful cross from the Frenchman, trying to pick out Lopez, but Harris using every inch of his 6'3" frame to win it. And of course, Emra Clemente was brought in, part of the senior setup, but released back in June.
Here we go, boys. Hey, 44, need one.
So it will be a change now. Baril will come off, and this is an interesting move here from head coach Steve Cook. The Welshman Jonathan Brown coming on to make his 22nd appearance for Baril, who was at the center of everything tonight, the Spaniard. wonderful performance, a man-of-the-match performance tonight for Jose Baril.
Right two, let's go, come on. 50, top of the box, no direct pass. No direct
Scorer of
pass.
the equalizer, creator of numerous chances.
No direct path to go, stay smart, boys.
The Galaxy now with a chance of their own here on just their second corner of the evening. And it's Alvarez into that near post, and it's well dealt with by this OKC defense, and a chance for them to break, but it's won back well, adroitly by Schultz, who gets himself stuck in. It's Lopez trying to square it out in front. Zaga trying to latch onto that volley to no avail.
I got you, Phil. I got you.
Not much flow to this second half, for being honest with you. This could be the perfect tonic for OKC Energy. Wouldn't see any movement in the standings if they did claim a win.
Come on, second!
They would put themselves in good stead in keeping their playoff hopes alive. Here's Alex Dixon for the new substitute, Jonathan Brown. Good looking cross from Brown, headed away by Schultz, helped on by Aguilar. And Lopez is just held up by Chavez. It'll be a free kick for Los Dos. We can't confirm final score from Sandy, Utah. Real Monarchs SLC 1, St. Louis FC 1. That means St. Louis will overtake Reno 1868 and move level with San Antonio on 43 points, further distancing themselves from both of these two, meaning OKC still 7 points adrift of that final playoff spot. As they now will move into the 9th position, make that 8. Is Reno 1868 for the time being back in the 9th position. Now it's opened up, and here it is now. It's Dixon to put it away. Yes! Alex Dixon icing this one on the 81st minute. It was ruthless and efficient, and once again on the counterattack, OKC Energy slicing and dicing and cutting LA to ribbons. It's LA 1, OKC 3.
For LA Galaxy 2 in the 81st minute of play. Leading game number 44, Jeffrey Achenbaum. Entering game number 53, Jorge Hernandez.
So it'll be Alex Dixon with his 10th goal of the season. Beautifully played through, opened up his body, far post. No chance for Eric Lopez. And that will do it. So the Galaxy have seen enough, and they're going to bring on Jorge Hernandez for Acheampong. First substitute of the night for Mike Munoz, but is it too late?
OKC Energy's FC goal for number 11, Alex Dixon, 82nd minute.
So Dixon moves into double digits, 10 goals on the campaign. Time for the lead on the club with Christian Valesky, 10 goals on the campaign. Such a quiet figure, but that really may cross all the T's and dot all the I's. Is there a way back as they'll look to settle in here? 2 banks of 4 make it 5. Here's Traore going off on a run. Left-hand side of defense. Aguilar continues to bear down on LA's behalf. Oh, lovely step overs. Aguilar takes it across. It took a deflection on the way in before it's cleared away. And Zaga taking no chances. Back to Eric Lopez. They've shown a little bit of everything tonight. A commendable, composed performance so far from the visitors. Long and hopeful out of the back, and that lacking patience in the assemblage of continuity and passing cohesion. And that's when the Galaxy were at their best, stringing those small passes together. Those little 1-2s which opened up OKC Energy. They played at such good pace. They've gotten away from that, and it's cost them. With the win tonight, OKC, after that draw between Real Monarchs and St. Louis, will close the gap to 5 between themselves and that final playoff spot. They got some big games coming up as well, OKC Energy. There's some pressure. It's drawn down on Lorendi. Sunday awaiting the visit of Sacramento Republic before paying a visit to Las Vegas Lights and well as Real Monarchs SLC as that one goes up and high. Lesky putting himself about.
You go to it, okay? If you can. I know. The guy's coming in. This guy's coming in.
Not a bad effort.
If I go, I'm just going to collide with him.
So Kona number 3 rising.
Come on, effort, come on.
A lot of big games away from home. The final 3 of the campaign for OKC. Way to Las Vegas, Real Monarchs, and St. Louis. That is a tough road to hoe. But 3 points tonight will put them well on their way and give them immense belief. John amongst the target. Keep your eye on the number 9. Out comes Lopez, sure-handed, well taken. From the Los Dos goalkeeper, it gives it a long punt. Despite the situation, we haven't seen a change of shape, a change in tactics, or a rethink at all by Mike Munoz. He's gone with his tried and true, but forced to rotate his team as well. Bear that in mind. I think it's set for the space. A game in 3 games in the space of 8 days. Los Dos preparing for the visit to Reno 1868 for hosting Real Monarchs, paying a visit to Seattle, and welcoming Sacramento Republic. They'll close out the season away to Swope Park Rangers in October.
Keep ahead.
Awkward kick from Lopez, but just enough. It's found its way to Miguel Aguilar. Is it too little, too late? Under 5 minutes left in this one. Here's Triari, who's come forward from a defensive role. No run made to that near post and easily claimed at the back. You look at big Cody Lorendi. Former LA Los Dos player himself who made 19 appearances back in 2014. May not recognize him with that big lumberjack beard. Angola. Is there anything left in the tank is the question. Apia. Another wayward ball forward. Lorendi just employing some time-wasting tactics, giving it a long ride. Zonga trying to claim, and Dixon just getting goal side of him. It was a clumsy challenge from the Cameroonian, and clearly booked for this one. Won't need any argument from the Galaxy defender. And we'll see another switch, the 3rd of the evening tonight, coming in for OKC Energy.
Number 9, Adam Jan. And number 2, Richard Dixon.
So Richard Dixon will come on. The 28-year-old Jamaican, no relation to Alex. Close up shop, take 3 points. Thank you very much.
Let's go!
And head back to Oklahoma as they get set for the visit of Sacramento this coming Sunday. No doubt Sacramento Republic very much in the thick of the playoff race, currently in the 4th position, and will be ready to play. Zonga becoming the first man booked tonight for Los Angeles. So double switch coming up. Well, interesting, before John was substituted off, evidently he was given a caution, a yellow card by the referee. Becoming the second man booked this evening for OKC Energy. Talk about petering out as we head into the 89th minute. A double switch coming up now for LA. Kobe Hernandez getting set to take the pitch along with Jonathan Hernandez.
Side, Miguel.
Here's the first touch for Richard Dixon. LA just trying to get back to what suited them so well at the beginning of half number one. Richard Dixon trying to get in behind, and a little shove in the back on Didi Traore. What could have been is the substitute. We'll see the likes of Jonathan Hernandez come in. Miguel Aguilar had some great runs in the first half to unhinge the defense. And Traore will come off. Number 54, Kobe Hernandez. Foster. Double switch. We'll see how they acquit themselves here in the final minute. A little too late to have any influence on the game. But the first touch, we'll see Hernandez Foster give this one a ride for Lopez, who continues to occupy that lone striker role. He'll be supported on the left-hand side by Jonathan Hernandez. Jorge Hernandez had checked in earlier, so the three substitutes deployed. Jonathan Hernandez trying to get stuck into the likes of Richard Dixon, who did well but got himself tied up with Adrian Vera. Flag is down for Frank Lopez, and a lot of work in front of him. He's taken down by Chavez, the referee deeming it a clean challenge. Full-blooded tackle that time from Chavez, who got it wrong in the first half but got it all right there. We can confirm that a minimum of 3 minutes will be added on here. It looks to be purely academic at this point. But don't tell OKC Energy that. They found themselves up 2-1, heading into the 4th minute of stoppage time on Saturday before losing out on 2 stoppage time goals to OCSC down in Orange County. So stranger things have happened. Here's Vera, who lines one up. And overzealous, you could say, from the number 49. Has yet to open his goal-scoring account this season. It's cut a figure of frustration. Vera taking the captain's armband from Miguel Aguilar. Still 5 games remaining for LA. 15 points on the table. Look, it looks bleak, but it is mission impossible. But technically and mathematically still alive. Hanging by a thread, however. They have to approach every game from here on out as a cup final. Likewise for OKC Energy. 1 less game to play than LA, but giving themselves a little bit of hope and breathing room with the 3 points tonight. Here's Nate Schultz for Jorge Hernandez. Careless ball from Hernandez, just gifting it for Callum Ross. He's done well to sit in tonight, Callum Ross. Performed that defensive midfield role perfectly alongside Rasmussen, is give a little bit more creative license. Poor ball out, easily claimed by Beckel. Possession short-lived as Vera now sends it wide on the right-hand side for Jorge Hernandez. It's an evening that held so much promise for LA. Zonga. Schultz, and that's going to do it. LA's back-to-back win streak comes to a close. A team that thought they had turned a corner. Not only 1 loss in 6 games coming into tonight. Jonathan Hernandez sprays it to that right-hand side. Brought down in the end by Schultz. It wasn't pretty, in fact, downright clumsy, and gets the better of the OKC defender in the process. It will be a goal kick for the visitors. It'll be such an interesting race in the Western Conference. We mentioned St. Louis back in the driver's seat, overtaking Reno 1868, 43 points. Reno 1868 technically in the 9th position, so those two have swapped. San Antonio also on 43 points. Swope Park Rangers on 46. Portland Timbers 2 not safe either. 29 games played and 48 points. Remember, 34 games on the USL schedule. Here's Richard Dixon. And close down Vera. Better distribution out of the back before Vera is upended. They've closed the pace, been suffocating tonight. And as a result, for all of their graft and all of their persistence, it's a come-from-behind win for OKC Energy. Just desserts. It started off, though, in rather daunting fashion as LA came out with guns a-blazing and managed to take the lead on a 13th-minute penalty kick from Frank Lopez after Lopez was brought to ground by Justin Chavez. But give credit, OKC Energy digging themselves back in, getting the equalizer 4 minutes from halftime to make it 1-1. And then second half goals from Philip Rasmussen, who grabs his second goal in as many games, as well as Alex Dixon putting this one on ice. And the final score reads LA 1, OKC Energy 3. Keep it right here on ESPN+. When we return, we'll have a look back at a full match recap and the highlights next.
The Los Angeles Galaxy are rampant. Alessandrini cutting back on Alessandrini! How sweet it is! The Los Angeles Galaxy have their reward!
It's a real difficult loss for Los Dos as LA Galaxy 2 going down to defeat for the 14th time this season in the 29th game. OKC Energy completes the season sweep. Maximum points once again. The final score tonight from StubHub Track and Field Stadium here in Carson, California. LA 1, OKC Energy 3 as the Oklahomans come in and shut up shop after a brilliant start. Let's take a look back at some of the better moments from this one. It was an evening full of promise, headed up by Frank Lopez, who got the better of Justin Chavez, who clumsily takes down the Cuban. And it would be Lopez from the spot, opening up that right foot, slotting it right past the keeper for a big, big goal, his 10th of the season, 1-0 to LA, and it was all going swimmingly. The passing was coming off, it was sublime, but then Disaster would strike. Careless giveaway in the center of the park. Adam John only too happy to oblige. And watch this finish from Jose Barril. Cheeky as you like. 1-1 at this point to put things on level terms heading into halftime. Second goal of the season for the former Real Madrid man. And then the second half, an entirely different story. It would be all OKC energy. This one pegged out to the left-hand side. Highlands cross, converted home by Philip Rasmussen on the 72nd minute. The third goal of the season for the Dane. That would make it 2-1. And a beautifully orchestrated piece of attacking play. LA beaten, their body language defeated. And then 9 minutes later, more misery coming down through the center of the park as it's helped forward for Alex Dixon, who played very much on the periphery, but a smooth, well-taken goal from the American, dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. A comprehensive win tonight as OKC Energy comes back from a goal down to take the bragging rights 3-1, but more importantly, keeping their slim playoff hopes alive, cutting that deficit between themselves as well as St. Louis SC to 8 points after St. Louis FC managed to get a share of the points away to Real Monarchs SLC. 1-1 was the scoreline. The scoreline tonight, once again, LA 1, OKC Energy 3. That's going to do it for us. On behalf of all the good people here at the StubHub Center Track and Field Stadium, this is Christian Miles saying good night from Carson.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.